A major event is about to get underway in Beijing, a once-in-5-year party congress that will inevitably see some personnel changes and also possibly new policy directions. It's seen as a domestic event for 1.4 billion people, but by that very fact, it's going to have massive global consequences for people outside of China or even people inside of China. Why do you think it could be important, and what should they be looking out for?
Well, China is the last middle-class country, the biggest middle-class country in the world. China is the second largest economy in the world. But if China is in trouble, that will affect the whole world. So that's why we certainly should pay attention to what's going on in China. China's economic growth, China's political stability, social political stability, and China become a constructive member of the international community. These are all important issues, right? Especially at a time that we face a lot of problems. Now, also, China is a major player in global peace. I think China should play a very important role to prevent nuclear non-proliferation, particularly nuclear war, in the case that some countries threaten to use nuclear weapon, and probably just more than one country to do that. So I think this is a very dark scenario. I think China should at least use its leverage to help the world to maintain peace. So I want to emphasize, and China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi actually made that statement. Wang Yi's meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Blinken actually sent a good message that China and the United States should work together, not to point finger against each other. And avoid the nuclear war is a high order. Every country, responsible member of the international community should play an important role. In that regard, I think that we hope that China will play an important role. But at the same time, I think the Western world should also understand China's position. If the narrative in the West is to completely defeat Russia, and then China will wonder, after you defeat Russia, who will be the next? So that explains China's hesitance, and also China think that the U.S.-led support for the Taiwan independence or policy change will really put China in a very difficult situation. The Chinese nationalism on the rise, the Chinese leadership have to go along with that, right? So we should understand China's position, China's dilemma, and also therefore, I think that all parties should be aware. I think the most important thing is we should understand that what's going on in China. And our knowledge of the Chinese politics, Chinese leadership is very limited, partly because of China is not, that kind of transparent in terms of Western democracy. But at the same time, our understanding or misinterpretation of China is also quite a phenomenon. As a person working in the think tank, I'm deeply worried that we are not in a United States China study community is really in a poor position to understand what's going on in China. There are so many rumors, completely groundless, but dominate some of the narrative in the West.